Howdy folks, this is Rhett here. I just wanted to film a quick video to show you how to actually use this daily tracker that I've got set up for you here. So this is a tracker that I've used for a couple of years now, and now I've made it into a template so you can use it for yourself. So the way it works is just begin by actually going through this getting started guide. Now the video that you're watching is obviously going to be in this position here, so I would actually just recommend watching this entire video because that's going to be your best bet in being able to get a clear understanding of how it actually works and what you can get out of this. So I'll leave it up to you to read through the rest of this document, but let's jump over and I'll just show you each document step by step. So starting out with today, this document is segmented into a couple of sections. Number one, we've got a time tracker. Number two, we have a habit tracker. And number three, we have a health tracker all in one. So what I do, if you do not yet have a Coda account, I would go to coda.io and sign up for an account. So then what you'll be able to do on this homepage is simply click copy doc, and that will then port it into your own account where you can start making customizations yourself. But starting out with the time tracker, the reason I've got this here is because oftentimes when we're going through life, we can be working and really just going through the motions of all of the daily tasks and just being busy for busyness sake. And this is a fantastic tool to use to get yourself out of that, where you don't have to use this all the time, but it's actually really good to use for about a week in a row every month or so, because that recalibrates yourself. Because oftentimes when we're going through and working quite frequently, we can bloat ourselves out and actually start adding in a lot of junk that really just isn't essential in regards to helping us achieve the results we want in life. So this time tracker helps us narrow our focus. Now you can see there's different categories here on the left. So if I simply click clock in and click start, then that's going to start tracking my time spent on the category of strategizing. And then when I'm done, I simply click stop. So what I do is I'll usually open this document up for the day and I'll pin it like so it's out of the way, but then I can easily come and click it and track everything that I need to. So this is a great way to start tracking your time throughout the day. If you're wanting to change these categories, then what you do is go to backend, click the, click the drop down, and then select work categories. And then here's where you're going to be able to insert all of your own categories. So really start to segment and think about all the different things that you spend your time on throughout the day and start to input your own categories. So here's a good example of like mine. And if you're wanting to clear the data of like any time tracking that I've done on this document, then just select clear data, and that will refresh all of the time tracking on your own document. Do not click it if you've got your own data already stored. So as you start recalibrating and tracking your own time, if you click this, it's going to get rid of it all. So I would do this at the very start, but then I wouldn't touch it again. So hang on, having a bit of trouble here. All right, there we go. So once you've cleared the data and you've inserted all your own categories, when you come to today, then I just basically leave about 10 sections for you to preload in things that you spend the most time on. But look, if you're wanting to, just say you've got team meeting here and you need to quickly track something else, then just click it, and then you can say you're jumping into some general admin for the day. Click that, click start tracking, and stop it whenever you're ready, and just leave it running in the browser when you're actually working on a specific task. So then once you've done that, we can click on the folder here called time, and we can go to the drop down, and this is going to produce a time report for you by category. I've also got it segmented into date range for you as well. So say you're wanting to analyze your time for the past week, then all you would do is click this drop down and click the last 7 days. So this is already pre-programmed. It's going to work seamlessly for you as soon as you integrate it into your own account. So you don't really need to be messing around with this stuff. And then it will show you how much time like you actually spent on different things. So here's your total time, and then here's the segmentation of time by category. So it's like, all right, well, today on general admin, I spent 7 seconds. Today on strategizing, 9 seconds. But as you build this out and as you track more of these, this time report is actually super helpful, because then you can look at it in the pie chart to see, like, get a really good visual, like, wow, I spent way too much time on admin. And over the span of a week, you can get a really good idea of how much time you're actually specifically spending on each and everything that you really are conducting in your business. So then as soon as you switch tasks, say you're doing admin, you're now on a sales call, just come in here, click on today, stop whatever you're doing, and then start sales calls. So as you can see, you can get creative with this yourself. You're welcome to customize it however you prefer. But before you go around and start playing with any customization, I would actually learn how to use this software a little bit better first. Otherwise, you'll probably disconnect things and fuck it up, and then you'll be emailing me wondering how to get it back together. So let's avoid that and learn how to use the software first and get educated. They've got a lot of like really good how-to videos. But then what I would recommend doing as well is downloading this on your phone. So say you're wanting to track things in your personal life as well, then say a workout, then you can easily pull it up on your app, on your phone. When you start a workout, just click start. Then when it finishes, click end. Now, what you're probably already thinking is if you begin to track a lot of this, and it's not making sense, or you forget to track something. Say you go for a workout and you're like, man, that was an hour and I've totally forgot to track it. Then just simply click new row, then click the drop down, select workout. So new row, workout, and then you can manually insert the duration that you are actually working out for. So this is a handy tool that you can use to help compensate for any missed logging that you conduct throughout the day. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, you're going to have a full a totals category here. So then you can sort it by what you spend the most time on throughout the day, and then that'll populate it. You'll be able to get a really good visual on, you know, how you actually and where you're allocating your time. Then you'll find the things that you need to start outsourcing or eliminating and systemizing to be able to start focusing on higher leveraged activities to get a higher yield or higher return on your time investment. Okay, so that's really the time tracking. Then the next one is habit tracking. So a lot of us really struggle. Now, in the today section, I've got the time tracking, habit tracking, and also my other tracking setup that I've got here, which I'll explain in a moment. But I've got it all on the one page. So when I wake up in the morning, you can just open up this document, start tracking your time, and then come down to the habits and start knocking off the habits that you've completed for the day. So for example, by the way, you can customize these however you'd like. So you can remove mine, and you can even delete the rows. If you want to keep it simple and just try to implement 4 habits, for example, for the month, then I would delete these and just have 4 rows that you can really focus on to not overwhelm yourself when you're starting to track your habits. And this is set up so when you're done with a habit for the day, all you simply do is click done. Then I'm not going to do it here because I don't want to reset this document for anyone using it. But if I click done, it would remove this row entirely. So it gets it out of the way. And then what will happen is tomorrow at 12 a.m., it will reset and it will repopulate. So technically, if you've actually completed all your habits for the day, you'll have nothing here. So then this days counter will show you how many days in a row that you have completed the habit. So then it'll show you as well, say you fuck up and you don't complete one of the habits for the day. The thing with habits is consistency over time. So if you miss a day, the whole point of this restart button is you don't really want to click it. But if you do, then it's going to show you how many times you've actually restarted that habit. Then the days, each time that you click it consistently, each and every day, it will build a tally to show you how many days in a row that you've completed that habit. So it kind of gamifies your life a little bit. And then after you've done that, and if you really want to analyze your habits and break them down, then click on the habits and routine section, select habits. This will give you an overview of like the last day you completed it, the last day that you had to restart it. And then if you've executed and actually completed all of them over a 21-day period, then that's going to level you up into the next zone. And it's all like programmed in on the back end, but if you actually execute and complete a habit consistently for like 21 days, you'll see that you'll go from like danger zone into the green zone because it's showing that you've actually been consistent. Then once you make these habits stick over time, the point is not to keep these habits here. It's like you want to insert new habits that you need to implement. So once you've got a habit really integrated into your life, you don't need to keep up with the admin of like showing yourself that you've completed it, because it becomes automated, becomes a habit. And then these are more so things that you want to include that you're struggling to make become habits. And then over time, you can really see if you've been able to integrate it successfully within your life or not. And this will give you a breakdown as well of what habits that you're actually succeeding with. And you'll be able to see in this bar chart what habits you've been having to restart the most, so you can see what ones are actually harder for you to implement and stay consistent with compared to everything else that you're trying to do. This section is a routine, so it's very simple. You can just, I like to keep it here for myself to just see the different type of schedules that I do have, because I like to tweak them over time and see what works for me. So you can go through that. This is an old schedule of mine that I was implementing and executing on, I would say 2 years ago. So that's the habits and routine, the time, and now we get into the health tracking. Pardon me. Okay. So this is a sleep tracker. Now, if you've followed any of my stuff, or if you've followed Sam and you've downloaded like the health trackers that we've used in the past, then you'd know that we previously tracked everything in a spreadsheet. However, I've developed out this new system to integrate it all into one with everything else I track in my life. So once again, you've got your habit or your date range that's already pre-programmed, so you can have it set for the last 7 days. So technically, if this is set for the last 7 days, then you will see all your tracking results from the last 7 days. Same as if you put last 30, but I would keep this specific system just to 7 days, because this is your home dashboard and you don't want to end up with a massive long spreadsheet of data. That's why like this is just a view of the actual total graph or the table. So if you click on the drop down in health, this is your main sleep dashboard over here. So here's where I would put last 30 days, because you can look at a bigger timeline, and this will you'll be able to see more data on this one document that's actually built to view a lot of data. Whereas today, we want to keep this streamlined and simple, because the today section, all we're using this document for is to track the results of today. And we're not analyzing everything from the past. That is why these are just like table views with customized settings that is basically a replica of this dashboard here, but it's just viewed in a different way. So this holds everything, whereas these tables here, these are the same metrics, but they're just broken down into segments. So I've got them separated into like sleep metrics, morning routine, nutrition and exercise, your work performance, night routine, like your sleep supplements if you use them, and your daily supplements if you take any as well. Okay, so if we go to sleep dashboard, you can look at all of the metrics there. However, what would be better is, okay, so this is your main sleep dashboard, but this is the performance. So your performance dashboard holds everything. So this is your entire tracking system with all of the metrics, whereas your sleep is just to focus and look at your sleep data. Then the sleep lab here is what I do. So if you're trying to test something to see whether it affects your sleep or not, this is the really cool thing about why I've got this built out, because you can then look at all the different sleep elements. You can insert, say like you're drinking coffee and caffeine after 12 p.m. And it's like, well, all right, I want to look at that sleep data, and I then want to look at, all right, what is the difference if I actually just don't drink caffeine after 12 p.m.? So then the category, I've got it segmented into software, which are things like tools that you use and software that you may use. Like I've got like different things that I use to see whether it's like a piece of software, hardware. So hardware would be like a UCalm device that I have, blue light blockers. That would actually be hardware. And then turn off like Wi-Fi. These are all behaviors. So you can see whether it's like if it's a physical device that you're using to improve your sleep, it's hardware. If it's some sort of software, then it would be that. So say you're listening to specific music before bed, that's a software, okay? And then the behaviors are things that you must implement and be consistent with in order for it to be checked off that you've actually done that for the day. So this is just a cool way to see, all right, well, there's so many advanced like sleep hacks out there and there's some expensive hardware that you can get. But this is about actually testing to see if it actually fucking works. So instead of just mindlessly doing something, it's like, all right, well, how about let's implement it for 30 days, see if it works, then we can track whether the effect is actually positive, negative, or neutral. And if it's an expensive device, for example, if it's an expensive supplement that you've been using, I've got my sleep supplements here actually. So that's another thing that you can track. But if it's like if we look at the cost and we see that it's quite expensive and it's only got a neutral effect, then it would be quite stupid to keep on doing that because we're not getting the return, the reward for the cost of that device or whatever it is, or the time and energy cost of doing and executing that behavior if it's not going to pay off for us. So this is all about results-based tracking and metrics. So then you can like actually be like, all right, well, I'm going to start this behavior at this date, and then in 30 days' time, it will then automatically populate that it's ready for review. But there's no point reviewing something before a 30-day period because we need more data to really analyze whether it's worked for us or not. So then when it comes to the sleep dashboard and the performance tracker, let's just go to the tracking system here today. These are your normal sleep metrics. So if you have an Oura Ring or a Whoop band, you'll be able to track all this data. You just simply log into your account, look at the metrics, put it into today's metric tracking. These are more subjective things. So this is like a morning routine. For example, I track some additional things like, all right, did I have an ice bath today or do any cold exposure? Did I do my behaviors of like rebounding to get my lymphatic drainage going and circulate blood flow? Did I conduct my breath work for the day? Did I go through and review my alchemy of self, like visualization document? Did I meditate? How long for? Stack. This is a behavior that I conduct. It's like a journaling process that I use where I've got a series of questions that I will ask myself and review every day to really just stay in tune with how I'm feeling and write any notes down that I think would be beneficial to me to look back so I can review how I was feeling, what I was thinking about, what I was working on at that point in time in my life. So that's what the stack is. When did I have my first meal? When did I have my last meal? Because these two things are huge contributors to your sleep. So they affect your circadian rhythm because the time that you have your first meal, it's kind of like a trigger for your internal biological clock that then sets all your biological processes in motion for the rest of the day. And same with the last meal. If you're having late meals, then you're fucking up your biological clock. Also, if you're having your first meal and last meal at random times throughout the week, your biological system isn't going to be able to be consistent, which is going to throw off your sleep rhythm. So I need to track that too. So I'm running out of breath here. Green drinks. Did I have my celery or green drinks today? I track that too because that all contributes to your overall health, your energy, and your vitality, and also your sleep quality. Nutrition and exercise. So that populates in here. So I could probably take the first meal and last meal out there and just leave it in here. And did I work out? What was my workout time? What was my intensity of the workout? So if I'm working out late at night, is that going to affect my sleep? if it does, I'll be able to track it on this dashboard. Work performance. What time did I start work for the day? What time did I finish? Did I finish too late? Did I not use my blue light blocking glasses, which it may have affected my sleep? Did I drink caffeine too late? So see how all these metrics can start to relate, and you can then really start to pinpoint why you're not performing in your life. So then work duration for that day, and then I subjectively analyze like how much energy did I have, how much focus did I have, my mood, my output. So to give you an idea of like what this would look like, these are bar sliders. So you can basically say like, all right, well that would be 83%, 87%. You get that, how that works. Then night routine. Did I read at night? Did I put my blue blocking glasses on? Yes, no. So the time here is what time did you actually put them on? Because if I put them on at 9:30 p.m., it's not going to be that effective because the sun goes down at around, at this moment in Texas, around 6 o'clock or 6:30, I think. So obviously, if I'm absorbing blue light into my eyes after that time, it's delaying the onset of which melatonin can release in my body, because if there's blue light going into my eyes, it's registering that it's still light outside, which delays the flood of melatonin into my brain, which is going to delay the time that I'm able actually to fall asleep and get restorative and high quality recovery sleep. Did I plan for tomorrow, today, at night? Because if I didn't, then I'm probably going to have a lot of things going on and rushing around my mind at night when I'm trying to sleep. So I can assess if, all right, did I plan today or plan tomorrow today? If so, then it's allowed me to alleviate the stress because I've taken it out of my mind and I've closed the loop by writing it all down. What time did I turn electronics off? Did I wait till late at night to conduct the shutdown of electronics? Or was I on my phone right up until I tried to go to sleep? See how these things can all really relate to just make you more aware of what you're doing in your life, to see how you're performing, how you're sleeping, how you're recovering. Sleep elements, here we go. So this section, I believe it's here, or the sleep lab maybe. No, there's no, okay, I forgot. Here it is. So the performance lab is all the supplements that I test over time. So I write them all down here in the left section. Then you can see here I've got a section called benefit. This is pulling in data from another table that I've got set up down here. So these are all the benefits that I've outlined of what supplements do for me. So then I leave that table alone unless I want to add anything in. So when it comes time to selecting the benefit for a specific compound or supplement, I click the drop down and I select all those that apply. Then I can also set the start date for when I started taking that compound, the frequency of how many or how often I take it, the effect, and then you obviously like keep track of your servings, the purchase date. So then you can actually trigger in automations. If you're running low, you can then just simply click buy again, and then it will take you directly to like an Amazon account, and you can quickly purchase it again. So this is just things that I use to help me keep track of everything in my own life. So then if you're wanting to add any supplements or take these away, feel free to take mine out and put your own in, because this is the main supplement dashboard. So when it comes time to going back to your sleep lab, your sleep dashboard, the home page, if you're tracking it on the day, then you can select what supplements that you took that day. So these are the sleep elements, and then below it here are the supplements. So the elements are like the behaviors that I conduct. Did I wear a face mask at night? Did I wear earplugs? So say you did. I turned off the Wi-Fi. I laid on my Chinese spike mat before bed, and I put blue light blockers on. Great. By the way, I'm just like, if I was to select the date as today, then that would work. Cool. So now we can see what supplements I took. I can select the drop down and be like, okay, what did I take? before bed. Then you can select all the specific supplements that you took throughout the day to see what effect they had on your overall rest and recovery that night. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, feel free to contact me and I can analyze if you guys are able to pick it up pretty quickly. If not, then I'll obviously be able to create another video to explain everything more extensively, because I know this is a new software that a lot of people haven't probably used in the past, but that is how it works. Once again, if you're wanting to change any of those elements, this here is simply it's pulling the table from the original performance tracker. So you don't want to change it here. You want to change, if you're going to change anything, you're changing it on the original performance tracker here. And then I've shown you how to adjust the dates. Well, that should be it for this video. Let me know what you think, and please give me feedback. I'd love to see how you guys enjoy it, if it makes sense. If it doesn't, I can happily work on it to build out more extensive tutorials to really help you get ramped up with this specific tracker. All right, enjoy.